Okay. All right. Well, as you can see, a little bit of a casual day. Was not my intention. Let's put our things in place to protect us from the dreaded spammers. Okay. All right. I think we're good. All right. So, um, we've been having some water issues at my house. And now it's pouring rain. And so the water's been turned off. So no showers today. But that's okay because, we'll just best we can do. Uh, so we have gotten the water fixed and the water is now back on. But by the time it turned back on, it was no. So, I apologize and we're just gonna, like I said, do the best that we can. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Sharon. It is very refreshing with the rain, and it is the first really good rain that we've had in my area, a really good rain in a while. So and that's wonderful, of course, for the fact that rain. But we've got all the water things fixed, I believe, and so I'm grateful for that. But it was a very long day of my my sanctum husband digging in the dirt to get the sprinklers fixed and get the water issues fixed so that we could turn the water back on. So very interesting day and leaves me wet and chlorinated from jumping in the pool. But that's okay because it's summer in Florida, and summer in Florida we jump in the pool a lot because it's hot. So anyway, I hope you have had a chance, if you're on my Facebook page, to see the pictures of the solar eclipse that we had just a few days ago on the new moon, to see that amazingness. And on my Instagram, friends, I will post those pictures after we are done here. It is absolutely incredible to see these pictures taken with the Delaware Lighthouse and the U.S. Capitol building and in the background, and it is just absolutely incredible to see these gorgeous, gorgeous images of the orange sunrise and the eclipse, the solar eclipse, where the moon passes between the Earth and the sun, and the moon comes in front of the sun and creates um, this cutout of the sun. Is just extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary, and such a beautiful, beautiful image. It was a very early morning, so I know a lot of people missed it live. So hopefully you have a chance to just scroll down from here on my Facebook page and check out some of the pictures. I want to share with you today. Um, Two things that I think that are coming through for me really strongly, and one is about trust, and the other is about standing up. And so the first thing that I want to say is about standing up. So let me say this because this is what's been coming through for me all day. It is imperative in our progress as humans and in our development as souls and humans here in Earth School, it is imperative that we stand up for what is right. And that is, um, and for me, and take it or leave it, for me, standing up for what is right means not standing up for things that diminish others because God does not make mistakes. We are all creatures of the divine light. Every single one of us. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what sexual orientation you want to identify yourself with, or you feel that your identification is. I don't care what country you're from. I don't care if you like the country that's next to yours. I don't care if you like your neighbors. There is no ideology in the higher evolution of humanity that involves making someone else feel less. Period. End of story. So, whatever political or personal or nationalistic ideology that you may espouse, nothing moves humanity forward and moves our soul, evolution, and the pursuit of peace on earth in moves it forward other than oh, yeah, here you give me different words. Nothing moves it forward this faster than compassion and love and treating every single person with respect. Every person. That means we don't support racism or bigotry or homophobia or and we don't turn a blind eye to symbols that of history that are used in a bastardized way to suppress or to be secret signals or winks to other people that you believe like me. So, wink, wink, we're in the club, and we do not support ideologies that would suppress, repress, or injure another person. We wholeheartedly support ideologies that are based in love and compassion and lifting people up and bringing people together. That is what it is about. It is not about the nudge and the wink of racism and anti Semitism and anti LGBTQIA and homophobia or any other anti anything. The path of the soul, the path of humanity's enlightenment is through love, compassion, and acceptance. It is not about turning the blind eye. And so this is the other part that they have been on me about today is it is imperative that we in all corners of the earth, not just here in the United States, are not turning a blind eye to say, oh, well, that's them and that's not me, because then what happens is things get closer and closer and closer. And we find that, like cancer spreading through the body, these lies and racist symbols and clubs and meetings and luncheons and things that are all these little winks that we're all in the club and we're going to take over and we're going to fix everything and set everything right by suppressing and eliminating all the people who don't look or act or think like us. We have to stand up against this kind of racism and bigotry and hatred because there is no place for it in any of our societies. And I know I talk about love as the path forward, but when you stand up for what is right and you stand up for others who may be marginalized and do not have as much ability to stand up for themselves, that is an act of love. That is an act of love. And we do not have to be mean or aggressive to people who are misguided and who will fly flags of hate, but we also do not have to support them. And we spread more love and we bring more strength to light and we bring more light to strength by standing with those who need our help to stand, who need people to stand with them. And so I want to tell you that I think one of the most important things that they have been talking to me about for days now, one of the most important things that we can do is to continue to stand up against hate and racism and bigotry in our societies, wherever you may be. I know that that is not always easy, and I want to tell you, I think that is the most important thing that we can do. And it is not about yelling at people or shooting at them or telling them that they're evil or demon spawn. It is acknowledging that they are misguided and you can certainly keep your distance from them. But I think one of the biggest things that we need to do these days is call it out when you see it. See something, say something, because so often we're just like, yeah, I don't want to get involved, especially I'm Jewish. And there is this part of me that's like, looking over my shoulder if I'm out somewhere and people start talking about my synagogue or what we're doing for the Jewish holiday or something. I want to make sure that there's not some crazy person around me, and I get it, but we can't be silent. We cannot continue to not say, hey, that's racist. When somebody in your conversation, drops in a little, Polish joke or a little anti-Semitic trope or some kind of, nationalistic, wink, wink, I can't, I'm sorry, I can't even say the words of, I am uncomfortable to even say the words that are racial slurs against the people that I love. So I'm sure you've heard them. I'm sure you've heard plenty of ones I've probably not even heard of. But when we have somebody who says, and I can say something Jewish because, I am Jewish, but I have someone who says, oh, I'm going to Jew them down on the price, even that just like catches in my throat. It is up to us to not just smile politely and be like, it is absolutely up to us to stand up and say that is not acceptable to say. That is not acceptable to say in polite society. That is rude and racist and demeaning. Now, you don't have to attack that person who said it. You don't have to say, what the F are you talking about? You can't say, you don't have to jump all over them. But I think that it is incumbent upon us and it is imperative that we politely and with compassion, we say, it's not okay to say that. You want to think that, that's on you. You can think whatever you want, but it is not okay for you to say that. And it is certainly not okay for you to say that in front of me or in any of these people. That's not okay. And so I think that one of the things that we have two things happened during the Trump era in the United States and in other countries is that people learned that they either had to take to the streets and march and yell and scream, and I am not opposed to that at all. There is a time and a place for marching, but on the more local and personal level, other people learned that they needed to go inside and shut their doors. And I'm telling you that those days are over, that it is time for us to open the doors and open our mouth and to politely stand up and say, what you are doing is not okay, and we will not support it. And I know that friendships have ended over all of this rise of racism in our society, and that I got to tell you, I'm okay with that. And that's just me, because what I've been seeing from the universe going on for so long now is the purging. And because we were not paying attention as a humanity, we were not paying attention, we got this, you've heard me talk about it. If you're not paying attention to what the universe is trying to tell you, and they get the little nudges and the little nudges and a little stronger, bam, you're going to get the cosmic bitch slap, because we're not paying attention. And to me, that was COVID. The 2020 year was the cosmic bitch slap for all of us. And people were affected in a myriad of different ways. But one of the things that happened was we had to go within. We had to go inside. We had to shut our doors. And now as we emerge, we can choose who we want to emerge with and who is going to be important for us. We must reassess the people that we are allowing into our energy so that our energy is not diluted by people who are sharing negative and racist and nationalistic ideologies of taking over governments and overthrowing lawful elections and all of this. We must choose who we allow into our energy, and the people who are not up to that muster, who are having those that hatred in their heart, those people need to be removed from our circles, and those people will naturally, my son is home. Those people will naturally be removed. And it's very interesting to watch. Hello, hi, it's Ania. Hi, Sharon and Janelle and Shelby and Janie. Cool. Hi, everyone. Those people will naturally be removed. The universe will take care of it. I literally watched over the last year as three different people who were really significant in my life, but I knew those relationships, it was time for those to end. And I literally watched the universe create situations where it was just no longer feasible for these people to be in my life. There wasn't needing to be grand separation. There didn't need to be a fight. There didn't need to be like a F you or, I'm leaving and we're over. We didn't need any of that because the universe took care of everything to be able to say, this person no longer has space. This person is no longer on your vibration. This person needs to be removed from your life. And what happens is that opens up the door for all of these other people to come into your life where they have the vibrational alignment, where they are the people who are going to help raise your vibration, keep you in that place of love or above. And they're going to be the people that you are going to lift your vibration and cavitate to the people around you. And you're going to attract more and more people of love and people of light. So we must stand up for the goodness and the kindness. We must speak out politely against racism, hate, intolerance, bigotry, homophobia. We must stand up and against all of these things because they are creeping all the time. Before Trump became the president of the United States, they were always there. These things have always been in our country, in other countries, in Europe for sure. These things have always been there, but it was never acceptable for them to be out in polite society. If you were a part of the Klan, the KKK, you kept it quiet. The most your neighbors might not have known, but the people who knew you had a, flag or a, pin maybe you wore or whatever, they knew, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you were in the club. But the era of Trump opened that up for the entire planet, made hatred and bullying publicly acceptable. And our job as light bringers and light keepers and light workers is to say, nay, nay, it is not acceptable. It is not okay. And we will not just sit here and watch you make oil sludge, creeping across. I've got this image of like the Blob, the old movie, monster, the Blob that would just creep along and just absorb everything. That we will not just sit there and allow the world to be taken over by this kind of negativity. We must be the ones to stand up and say, no, no, this is not okay. You want to believe that? That's fine. But go take it back inside behind closed doors, put your flags away, go sit down and be private about it. We cannot have, people like Mike Flynn calling for open insurrection in public. And I'm not just pointing out in the United States, this is happening in the very ultra right and ultra left in other countries as well. But the people who operate from the place of love, we must be the ones to stand up to say, no, no, we're not having this anymore. Janie, you're absolutely right. Bad energy. We don't want it around us. But at the same time, we can't just dismiss it. So part of our job is to smother it with love. Okay, part of our job is to smother it with love. And I know that is not an easy thing. So I am, committed to standing up and saying this is not okay. At the same time, if you want to have a polite conversation and discussion, that's great. We can sit down and have a polite conversation and discussion. On the other hand, if you don't want to and you want to, be racist and homophobic and whatever all else, then you need to take it away from me. Then you're not going to be in my circle. You're not going to be welcome at my events. You're not going to be part of, whatever. If you're going to be polite and you're not going to, um, you know, speak in a negative or inappropriate way, then, we can have another conversation. So it's important because we've seen so many people over the last 4 years who are like, nope, they're just dead to me. Out, they're done. I can't even be in the same room with these people. And I get it. I get it. There are people that but at the same time, I heard this amazing story of this guy. People were out in front of his office or something protesting, or his house protesting against him because he wrote a book and they didn't like the book and they were protesting in front of his house. And so he came outside and I guess he came out the back and like went around and he brought them all water. And they were all like, "Oh, thanks, man. That's so great." Blah blah blah. And they're like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm the guy you're protesting. I wrote the book." And he's like, "They're like, what?" Come to find out, most of them had never even read the book, and they all had a lovely time because they were protesting something they didn't even understand. So I'm not talking about confrontation. Obviously, safety is always first. But when you're in a safer situation, a one-on-one situation, someone that says something, to be able to say, that's not okay with me. It's not okay with me for you to say that. If you think that, that's fine. But it is not okay for you to say that. And if that's really what you think, then I need to reevaluate our friendship. We don't have to be confrontational or aggressive or mean. We don't get anywhere by telling someone what they think is wrong. We get places by showing them that they are misguided. You do that from love, from a place of love, of bringing a water bottle, of engaging in conversation, polite and civil conversation. And one of the most powerful questions that we can ask people in those situations is, tell me what you think you understand about this issue. Tell me what you think you understand about what you just said, and let them share their thoughts and be present in the moment so that you're listening and you're engaging with them rather than being an inactive listener where we're like, yeah, okay, I'm going to say this to that and I'm going to respond. Oh, that point, I'm going to respond. It's like you're planning your responses rather than listening with compassion and listening and being present to them. Because so often people who embrace hate and anger are people who have not been heard on so many other issues, and where they really just need to be heard and be have an opportunity to share their point of view. I'm not saying, give them all the space to like take the microphone and own that platform, but we don't get anywhere by telling other people that what they think and believe is wrong. We get that shift by enlightening them and opening their eyes and leading with love and showing them where they are misguided, showing them a wonderful person who you may be friends with who is in the LGBTQIA community, or someone who is Jewish, or someone who is Black and successful and smart and well spoken. Things that eradicate the stereotypes. We show people that they are misinformed and that they have been indoctrinated into this cult of misinformation, because so much of what people are buying into on the extremes right now is the yelling. They're listening because they're being screamed at over and over again with information from the ultra extremes. And because the people in the middle are not screaming, this is what is being pounded into their heads. So they're being misguided. And it's so much up to us to be able to say, this is not right. And it's not okay with me for you to act this way around me. You want to act that way over there? I can't stop you. But right here, I'm going to tell you I love you, but I'm going to love you over there. And if you've been following me for any kind of time, you've heard me talk about loving people over there. I don't have to hate you. I don't want to bring that, Janie's right, bad energy into me, but I don't need to let you bring your bad energy, anywhere near me. I'm going to say, I don't want that around me. And if that's what you think and that's how you're going to act, then you need to go over there. All right. So a little bit of we have to shine the light for others to experience the light. Janelle, so right. You are 100% right. So a little bit of a rant today, but they got all in my head and really have just been like pounding on my head like moral outrage. It's time for moral outrage. And it's so funny because so often, the message is always a message that comes from a place of love, but sometimes they tell me I don't get mad enough, which is so funny because if you happen to be somebody who looks at my personal Facebook page, you can see I get plenty mad. But it is so important that we, as the light bringers and the light carriers, that we are willing to stand up and say, this is not okay, and we must do better. We must hold each other accountable to do something better. So let's see where we are with our cards today. Done a couple shuffles before, got off on my information. Now, who was it that hit me up on Wednesday after our meditation and had some questions, but I didn't, it wasn't the time for questions, and I think we were already done being live when I saw the questions came in. So if that was you and you had a question for me and I said, hey, hit me up on Monday, give me a comment or wave or something, because I know I had that conversation with somebody on Wednesday, but I cannot. I cannot remember who it is. Just said, yeah, you're so funny. You have a good memory too. Shuffle is important. All right. So, okay. You heard me shuffle. I shuffle right in front of you so that you can hear that noise and I'm shuffling because I want to make sure that I am shuffling alive and in that moment of energy for you. But here's the card that comes up from the Oracle of the Seven Energies, Healing the Heart. Hello. Don't tell me that they're not giving us words to say and that they're not paying attention to what all is going on with us. Duma. It was okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So healing the heart. So Duma, pay attention, right? So healing the heart. So this is all about the green energy. The heart chakra is green. The heart chakra is all about love, but it's also about healing. It's about healing ourselves and healing others around us. And so again, we lead with love, we lead with compassion, and we bring others to the light, not by jumping all over them and telling them that they're wrong, but we bring others to the light by helping them see a different path. I'm going to say, for me personally, this is going to be A personal challenge. I know that they are putting in front of me a personal challenge as I'm watching two of my neighbors flying and white nationalist, white supremacy, symbols in front of their house. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens, as these are people that I know and people I thought were my friends. But if you're going to put that in front of your house, you are not my friend. So we're going to be kind and loving and firm. Firm. So interest. Oh my goodness. Okay, so seriously, you hear me shuffling, right? I mean, you hear it, right? I mean, you can hear the sound, right? So here's our goddess for today. This is Gula, and she is the goddess of, guess what? Healing. So she is the goddess of healing. I have my glasses on my head, so let's see, because I literally just opened right to her page. She is the Babylonian goddess of medicine and healing. She has come to guide you as a blessing for your well being. You're being invited to address the areas of your life that need healing. Look at that. Perhaps you have moved so quickly through your life that you've forgotten about self care. Perhaps the stories you've told yourself about who you are need healing. We don't always see that we are hurting ourselves or others. Now, is that not? That is just incredible. I'm telling you, the cards don't lie. Cards don't lie. All right. Last deck, the awesome Rebecca Campbell, Work Your Life Oracle deck. And then we'll get to some individual questions for Daniel. And if you are on, I love you too, Jesse. I miss you. I miss your face, girl. We gotta get you where I can see your face and give you a vaccinated hug, an actual hug, my dear friend Jesse. So. All right. All right. You tell me you're hearing it, right? You're hearing me shuffles? Okay. All right. Let's see. Sisterhood of the Rose. Beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, and teacher. Sisterhood of the Rose. So for me, um, you're so sweet. For me, this is all about reminding us that we are not alone. Sisterhood of the Rose. Now, remember, the ever unfolding rose is all. See, this is for Jesse right there. That's for you. The Sisterhood of the Rose. But the ever unfolding rose talks about our journey through the universe, our soul's evolvement, our soul's unfoldment. This is the ever unfolding rose. And so we have the Sisterhood of the Rose. It tells us that we're on our soul's journey, but we are never alone on our soul's journey. And this was the second thing I wanted to talk about, which was trust. Hold that thought. The second thing I wanted to talk about was trust, because I want to say to you, this is the time to lean into the universe, to trust. There's a quote that says, and I know I'm not going to get it right. There's a quote that says that when you reach the edge of all that you know, trust that two things are going to happen. You will step out into the vast expanse, and you will be. There will be something firm for you to stand on, or you will be taught how to fly. I know I just completely butchered that quote, but it is something that hangs on the mirror in my bathroom, that I see in the morning, and really trust that when you reach the edge of all that is known and comfortable, and you are called to step out into the void, into the vastness of the universe, to step out of your comfort zone, trust that there will be something for you to stand on, or you will be taught how to fly. You will be carried, you will be lifted. And this is so important, because this is the other part of the message today, is that you are not alone. And it is so imperative that we are trusting the universe. We are trusting those in the universe to guide us. We are trusting that we are protected, that we are welcoming them into our lives, that we are being lifted, cared for, surrounded, hugged, supported, and guided by something so much greater than ourselves. And you can call it whatever you want, because I heard this other fantastic quote today that said that God was not a religious being. Religion is created by man. Spirit, spirituality, connection with source, this is the walk. You can do it through any religion that serves you. Great, as long as it's a religion that is based in love. Because we've seen so many people that will take religion and just use it as a stick to beat people with. And that's not religion. That is not in service of source, of light, of God. That is not in service of anything except man's desire for power and control. God was not religious. God is spirit. God is source. God is love. Only love. God is love. And so as you are stepping out into the edge of the unknown and knowing that there will be something firm for you to stand on, or you will be taught how to fly, know that you are being surrounded, cared for, guided, lifted, and loved by something so much more powerful than yourself. And so the most important thing that we can do is trust the universe. That does not mean the path will be smooth. That does not mean the path will be easy and without bumps. That does not mean that there will not be sickness, war, and famine. That does not mean that there won't be conflict or things that we have to deal with, or that there's not going to be, challenges along the way. Because we all have challenges. We all came here to learn something. And it is in the valley that we grow. We do not learn from the mountaintop. We learn from the climb. And so trust that you are not alone. And this is the biggest thing I want to share today is this trust that when you step out, because you are being called to step out. If you are here and you are someone who follows me and you are or follow other people like me and you are watching this whenever you're watching this, you are being called to step out and to stand up for what is right. But trust that you are not alone. Sisterhood, your sisters, your brothers, the people, but also the universe, the powers of the universe, the angels, the guides, your loved ones in spirit, and God, source of all, will be with you to guide, lift, and support and protect you. Expand the box, trust, divine, infinite more. Janelle, absolutely. Yeah, your comments are so fantastic today. You guys could be doing this. All right. So here we come back to Lemuria. Comes again. I swear you see me shuffle, but here comes Lemuria again. Lemuria is utopia. This was the utopian place, creating heaven on earth. It is happening. This is the reminder that it is still possible for us to create peace, to create love, and to lead with compassion. From the highest levels, it is possible for us to lead with love and to be kind and compassionate and nurturing and supportive of ourselves and of others and around the world, that we do not have to lead from hate. An example that Trump and others set in this country and for other demagogues and autocrats or authoritarian leaders around the country, around the world over the last 4 years is a horrible example. Like him, don't like him, whatever. My, feelings are clear. You don't have to go far to know what I think. But the example that was set was that America needed to lead with power and force and hate. And if you're not like me, then you need to be restrained or restricted or go or whatever. And that's the message that was sent around the world. And now we have leaders in many countries that are sending a different message, that this is not how we work and this is not how we bring our world together. And it's not lost on me that, we have the G7 summit going on right now, and then the next summit, and there's like 3 of them right in a row, right? That the world leaders are coming together saying we must work together to make the planet better for all of us and to stand together against those nations that would do us all harm by making the planet better for themselves at the expense of all of us. And so it is shifting. We are seeing it shift. It is so important for us to continue the work of leading with love and demanding that our leaders engage from this place. And I look at people who are so frustrated with the President Biden, who are, why are you giving the Republicans, time and time again, the way you're just wasting time to, why don't you just cut them off and do what you want to do? He's leading with love. He's leading with love. And again, like him or don't like him, but he's leading with love. And, whether you're in this country or in another country, he is setting the example of leading with love and compassion. And this is why his presence is so important right now, because he is showing a different way to have strong leadership, whether you agree with his policies or not. And I don't agree with all of them, but I do, anyway. He is leading with love, and he is showing that you can be strong and still be compassionate at the same time. And that is the message that we need to heal the world. I was listening, I was doing a workout the other day that was low impact, and the partway through the workout leader was huffing and puffing, and I'm huffing and puffing, and she says, see, you don't have to be jumping or running to get your heart rate up. And she was right. I was like, So we put, we make labels on things. We say low impact and oh, it must not be a good workout. Trust me, it was a good workout. But we don't have to be harsh. We don't have to be hard. We don't have to be, um, we don't have to lead from hate. We don't have to lead from anger. We can be angry, but we don't have to come from that place when we engage with others. And so we want to come back to the first card that we pulled, which was healing the heart. We lead with love. And so this is what I find that gives me so much hope every day, is that we have leadership in our country now. And as a Jewish person, I'm watching with a little bit of skepticism about what's going on in Israel. I'm no fan of Netanyahu, but I'm very optimistic, cautiously optimistic, I think is what they say, about the new government, because they do intend to lead from a place of compassion. And that, I think, is so important, because that is what we are missing in our societies, all of them, and what we need more of every single day is compassion. So let me leave it there, and let's pull a card for Duma, who has been very patiently waiting. Let's talk about love life is a mess and the career. Duma, love life is a mess. I got to tell you, I'm going to say that you're with the wrong person. Let's pull a card for my friend Duma. All right, we'll shuffle again, because I always want to. Oh, thanks, Yesenia. I got a big old amen from Yesenia on Instagram. Yay! All right, so we're going to say, take a break. So Duma, here is your card, my friend. Take a break. Okay. And I feel like for you, I really do feel like that you are with the wrong person. I feel like you have been trying to force a square peg in a what is it? Square peg in a round hole. I feel like you have been trying to make it work. I feel like you have just been bending yourself, twisting yourself in knots to try and make situations fit that don't fit. And I want to say to you, this is what we were talking about before, about cutting toxic and allowing the universe to take things out of your life, because I feel like these things, people are being pulled out of your life, but you're in there holding on, going, no, don't go. And when we do that, we just make it worse for everybody. And so I want to encourage you. Here's your card. Take a break. And I want to encourage you to just say, I give up, let go of the rope. It's like with water skiing. I grew up on water skis. And when you want to stop with water skis, you just let go of the rope and you just glide to a stop and sink. And then the boat comes to get you. Okay. So let go, because holding on so tightly is preventing so many other blessings from getting to you. There are so many blessings. You are blocking up the energy. You've got a kink in your water hose, your energy hose, and because you are holding on so tight to keep what you have had. And if you can let it go, just throw your hands up and say, you know what, forget it, I give up, and just let it all wash away. There will be a rebirthing of new growth, and that will shift so many things in your life. So many things. Just trust them. Trust them. Okay. Everybody. I love it. I love it. Okay, so Sharon asked next. We're going to do Sharon. Okay, so Sharon asked for a card. She asked for a reading. This is Keepers of the Earth. Now, I did not shuffle. I just picked the card for Sharon. Keepers of the Earth. I'm just listening to them, Sharon. Sharon, I want to say to you that I want to say to you, Sharon, it is important for you to put more emphasis on being grounded. I'm listening to them. I want to say to you to put more emphasis on being grounded. I'm feeling like you have got like almost like when you've got a whole bunch of balloons in your hand, you're being lifted up off the ground, and you had your feet on the ground, and now you're kind of like got like one tippy toe on the ground, and you're being lifted up off the ground. I want to say to you, it is really important that you are coming back to being grounded for yourself. I feel like there are things that are unclear around you, but if you can get grounded, go outside, stand barefoot in the grass if it's safe for you to do that. I will tell you, I will stand one hand up, one hand down, palm down. And so I'm left-handed. So my outgoing energy hand is my left hand. So I'm going to put the outgoing energy hand facing down because I want to release into the earth. And my receiving hand is your non-dominant hand. You're going to put that up, palm up. Stand feet shoulder width apart, receiving hand up, releasing hand down, and just let the light come through you and shower like a shower of just releasing anything that's no longer serving you. All of that's flushing out through the bottom of your feet, through your hand, and then to receive through the top of your head and to receive through the palm of your hand facing up. And allow those beautiful green vines of Mother Earth to wrap around, to come up and wrap around your ankles and shins and hold you grounded to the earth. Feel that connection of being grounded to the earth, because I feel like you're kind of lost your way, and I feel you're like maybe being a little floopy these days. I feel like you maybe have lost your way, and there's a lack of clarity around you because you're not grounded. And so what I want to say to you is take some time to really be intentional about grounding. Another thing that you can do is take your middle fingers. This is such a great exercise for everybody. Anytime that you feel like you're a little floopy or a little frustrated and you're just not grounded and you're like, and maybe you can't go outside, put one finger here between your eyes and pull up a little bit on your, just below your ajna, your third eye. Okay, not right, don't poke yourself right in it, just right below. And then you're gonna take your other middle finger and you're gonna put it in your belly button and you're gonna pull up just a little bit. So both of them, you're just pulling up just a littlest bit. You are not, you are not hurting yourself. You're just pulling up just the littlest bit, standing feet shoulder width apart, and just breathe. Just breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. This is the most wonderful, quick way to ground yourself. You can just turn to a corner away from everybody and just do this. You can go to a bathroom stall and do this. This is a fantastic way when you get a little like frustrated or stressed out and you're just like, I need to just calm myself back down. This is just 6 breaths, I'm telling you, makes all the difference in the world. So, but Sharon, I feel like there needs to be some grounding for you. After you're grounded, then we'll talk some more. All right. Who asked me next? Jamie. Janie. Am I saying that right? Janie, am I saying that right? Oh, we've got reunions going on with Rachel and Janelle. Excellent. I love it. All right. So, Janie. Something about a sick relative around you, Janie. I feel like there's somebody. Yay. Okay. Like, is there somebody ill around you? Is there some kind of a relative like that's dealing with a health issue? Somebody, I feel like maybe a mom or grandmom that is dealing with a health issue. Um, but I pull a card for you and for Janie, and this is what I come to is don't dim to fit in. And this is really about being your most authentic self, standing in your own light. Over here, standing in your own light, not putting. So we're talking about square peg and round hole for Duma, and okay. So and I feel like you're at odds with some other people in the family that about how this proceeds. And so again, don't dim to fit in. So if there's stuff that you feel like needs to be said to mom or on, I feel like more on mom's behalf. Again, you don't have to be aggressive, but I do want to say to you, say to the people around you just to make mom's wishes to be clear. I feel like there's part of you that is supposed to speak on her behalf. Um, but don't dim to fit in. You are going to be the square peg in the round hole. That doesn't mean you're wrong. It means you're different. You're walking your own unique path, and it is up to you to have the strength and courage to keep your back up, your head up, believe in that support system that's around you, and carry yourself forward because you are on the right path. But you want to make sure that you're not being detoured by trying to be what other people think you should be. All right. All right, so what did we just do? Okay, Rachel Elizabeth. And then we'll get back on. All right. Rachel Elizabeth. Rachel, I feel like you have abilities. I feel like you have abilities to hear people and feel people, and you have abilities to intuit things around you. And I feel like that it's going to be important for you to get connected with folks like you so that you can get tuned in. Maybe it's Janelle, but you know, getting yourself tuned in and connected with those people that can help you develop and help you grow, or even if it's not, and I'm not saying it's like, oh, you're going to become a psychic. I'm not saying that, but just to help you stay grounded and to help you not be so overwhelmed. Because I feel like, Rachel, I feel like you get overwhelmed a lot because of other people's stuff. And I feel like you connecting yourself with some other folks that are like you, that is going to be really important for you to stay grounded and to feel that support, that you're not alone and you're not weird or wrong or anything like that. But I do feel like you have intuition and intuitive abilities that maybe you've been pushing to the side. And so I want to, pulled for you the Soul Family card. And so I want to remind you that you are not alone and that you have that having abilities is not a curse, but it is something that needs to be learned and managed and so that you can control it rather than having it adversely affect your life. Because I feel like you might be really empathic, and I feel like that can be overwhelming for you sometimes. So we'll say that. Let me know if that sounds right for you. Okay, so that was Rachel. All right, so we've got Becca and Janelle. All right, so we're going to cut those off. We're going to have Becca and Janelle, and we'll leave it there. So we'll shuffle again. Do a couple people on one shuffle. There we go. Got shuffle again. All right, so. All right, I'm trying to go in order, but I'm just getting pulled towards Janelle first. Janelle, have you been doing some stuff with like photo albums or ancestry, family tree kind of stuff going on with you? Looking at where you are coming, like where you come from, I feel like there's also this place for you as well about who am I and who do I really want to be as I move through the world. I feel like that you have also come to this sort of crossroads with you of who do I want to be, and who do I and where do I want to go? I feel like it's time for you to make a shift. And I want to say that staying true to your heart, staying true to um, what is going to serve your highest and best good. And also that reminder that you have this cocoon of love and support around you from the people on the other side and the other members of the universe. That lean into that is a really important part of the message for you, I feel. But I feel like you are at this crossroads about where you want to go and who you want to be. And I want to tell you, follow the heart, follow the third eye, trust them where you are being led. And like what I told Taduma is just let go and let that information, let the universe guide you. I want to say there are so many times when people are just holding on to what they think they're supposed to have and what they're thinking that they're supposed to do and be. And the minute that they just turn around and say, you know what, screw this, and they just let everything go, and that is when the universe comes in and says, washed clean, clean. Now we can bless you. Now we can bring all of the abundance to you. We've been waiting for you to just let go and trust us. So that is the part for you. And so the message that the card for you, Janelle, is Pleiades, which is really about remembering where you come from. This says the double mission of channeling and uplifting humanity. But this isn't all about what you do for others, because I know you do for others. But this is also about where you come from, because Pleiadians are powerful manifestors. Powerful manifestors. And it seems to me like maybe you might have forgotten that about yourself. So I'm going to leave you with that. All right, Becca. Oh, Rachel says, I'm an intuitive jewelry designer, struggle with maintaining my energy. Fantastic. So, Rachel, you do you. You do you. That is so fantastic. I am so delighted. And I would love to see what you're working on. I would love to see what you're working on. I don't have the page set up where other people can post, but if you like send me a message to the page, I certainly can share it to the page. I would love to see what you are working on. Becca, Becca, your card says leap, leap. Leap, 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 leap. It's time for you to step forward, to step out. It is time for you to step out from the shadows. It is time for you to put yourself front and center. You don't have to be the star of the show, but it is time for you to stop hiding behind other people. And I think You probably know what that's about. Because I'm because what I hear in my head is, and you know what I mean. So there is definitely a loved one in spirit that's given me that information because there's a little bit of attitude about it. That you have been hiding and kind of cocooning yourself, and it is time for you to step out. And to take the chance, to take the chance. And this is the greatest time because we've just had this solar eclipse. We've had the two eclipses back to back, the lunar, the solar. We just finished coming through the new moon energy. We're in the waxing moon. It's just coming out into the energy. We've just come out of the new moon energy. We're into that manifestation energy. And Becca, I think that you right now have the ability to manifest pretty much anything you would decide to set your sights on in your life. But I feel like that there's a freeing. I feel like in my throat, I feel like there's a freeing of the voice that is waiting to happen for you, Becca. And so I'm gonna leave you with lots of support and love and encouragement to speak your truth. And hopefully that resonates with you as well. Yesenia, thank you so much. I love you too. I love all the I love that you're here. I love seeing you pop up. And so I pull a card for you because you I adore. And this is about awakening. So there is light that is definitely coming your way, and there's definitely some light that is coming your way. I think there is, and I know because I know you. I know there's a new chapter coming with sending one kid off to college, but there is awakening. This is because they're telling me pull this card for Yesenia, and this is so much about you also trusting, which I know you do very well. But I think there's also this reluctance to throw your heart over the line too. And I think you have been really focused in, I got to keep everything like being in survival mode. And I want to tell you, I think that survival mode is done now for you. I think it is time for blossom mode. Is this is what I'm getting because we get a lot because when I'm hearing in my head is spring awakening like the music da, 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 I can't think I mean, like the dawn is breaking whatever and there's music in my head that's like spring awakening and so this is what I'm talking what we're talking about is you have been so focused on the we got to get through it, we got to get through it, we got to just get past this and just get past this. And I want to tell you that right now is coming into that time 5 seconds. Now I can turn and look over here at the map and where am I going? Where am I going? So this is the awakening. It's time for something new to be rebirthed from Yesenia. It's time for something new to percolate out from the energy of Yesenia. So hopefully, oh, Tree of Life pendants on crystal cabochons. Fantastic. So I know we went a little long today. I want to say thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Thank you so much for all your amazing comments and questions and for being part of the community of light today. Speak up for what is right. Be polite. Be love motivated, love filled. And please, in all things, from me and from all of them, know how very much you are